Hey dads, being a father isn't always the easiest job, but it's the most rewarding job. And I want to provide you 3 ways that I've been able to prioritize and to be able to make sure that when I'm with my children, that I'm showing up for them. So really quick story time. When my children were a lot younger, I really had a struggle with really trying to connect with them. And a lot of that is really because at the time I was working a lot. I was doing a lot of gigs here and there, whether it was for photography, if it was me doing leadership workshops, I was always doing something. And so at some point, my wife had to pull me inside and say, hey, I know you're doing a whole lot. I know that you want to make sure that we're good. And I see you out here hustling, but your kids, they really do need you. And I sat with that for a little bit and I'm like, well, I'm already doing all the things now, right? Like making sure that they have clothes and making sure they have food and make sure they have all these other things. And that was the provider in me. But what I wasn't giving them was myself. And so I wanted to be able to say that my kids were able to spend time with me, were able to do things that were meaningful to them, and really was really about creating those memories and creating that emotional support and emotional safety for them. So here's the first thing that I recommend. Number 1 is have to figure out our priorities. So what are the things that we have to get done? Okay. So I know for me, I work at a university. So my schedule is sort of flexible. I'm able to be home, when they get home, at least like within 45 minutes to an hour. So I take that time to make sure that I'm connecting with them. I'm asking them how's school. I'm asking them, things about their day and really just asking them how they're doing. And that's one of the touch points there. I also had to prioritize the things that my kids wanted to do. So as they got older, they wanted to do things. They wanted to go to their friend's house. They wanted to go out to eat. They wanted to get ice cream. They wanted to do sports. And so I really made up in my mind that I'm going to make sure that I show up for them when it comes to that, when it comes to sports. So I'm going to prioritize that. And even if that means I got to put some other things aside, whether like I served on several boards, I've cut that down to really 2 boards max right now, in my life, especially now. Now that my kids are much, much busier. 2, I don't take as many gigs as I used to take. I'm really intentional about the things that I do because I want to make sure that when my kids grow up and they become adults, they can say dad was around and dad, made us a priority. I would say number 2 is really be intentional about setting schedules. So one of the things that I implemented and what my wife and I implemented was for us to have family time. And family time for us is usually on Sundays. And we take an hour, and that's really our time just to talk as a family. That gives the kids the opportunity to talk about things that they're doing, things that we probably didn't catch throughout the week. But we take that time, we take that day to be able to do that. And it's actually proved wonders. We learn more about our kids. We are able to work on things, whether, one of the big things, right, is communication. So being able to communicate with each other, how we want to be communicated to, setting expectations, all those things have been very, very helpful. So scheduling a time. One of the things also that is important is just scheduling time just to be together as a family, as a group. So that's something that's really, really important. I would say point number 3 is for us as dads is to lead by example. So what we prioritize tells them what's important, right? So we have to make sure that we prioritize our children because we want them to feel they are important because they are important and we're investing in them. We're putting time into them. We're talking to them. We're like, I coach my son's football team. I'm one of the coaches on his team. That's part of me investing in him. I take my daughter to training for basketball. That's part of my training with them. I talk with them about schoolwork. Sometimes I play the video games with the kids because that's my way of leading by example. So if you want to show that someone is a priority, then we have to put that time in. So it's really, really important for us to lead the way and for us to lead by example. All right, so that's all I got. I would love to hear how you as a dad are prioritizing and how you're making sure that you're leading by example and putting your family first. I'd love to hear some of the things that you're doing in the comments. All right, until next time, I'll see y'all later.